Every single day, billions of dollars of institutional orders get measured against one single number on the chart. Miss it, and a fund manager could genuinely answer to their boss for a bad trade. That number is sitting on your chart for free right now, and most retail traders have never even turned it on. By the end of this video, you will never look at it the same way again. Welcome back to From Zero to Funded in 30 Days. This is day 9. Today we're covering VWAP, Volume Weighted Average Price, the single indicator I personally watch more than almost anything else trading NQ. This builds directly on day 8's moving averages, but it works in a fundamentally different way. And once you see why, you'll understand exactly why institutions treat this line so seriously. If you've ever felt like price seems to magically respect certain levels intraday for no obvious reason, this lesson is probably going to answer that question for you. Let's get into it. Quick recap of how we got here. Days 1 through 3 gave you the price action foundation, trends, candlesticks, support, and resistance. Days 4 through 6 added time frames, market structure, and volume confirmation. Day 7 set the rules for every indicator we use from here forward. Confirm, never replace. And day 8 gave you moving averages, SMA versus EMA, dynamic support and resistance, and my personal 9/21 stack. Today's lesson on VWAP is going to feel familiar in some ways because it looks like a moving average sitting right there on your chart. But underneath the hood, it's calculated completely differently, and that difference is exactly why institutions treat it so much more seriously than a regular moving average. If you haven't watched day 8 yet, I genuinely pause this video and go back first, because the comparison we're about to make only really clicks once that foundation is fresh in your mind. Everything in this course really is designed to build on the last lesson, and skipping ahead tends to create more confusion than it saves time. Think of each day as another brick in the same wall. Skip one, and the whole structure feels noticeably less stable by the time you reach the top. Let's get really clear on what VWAP actually is. VWAP stands for Volume Weighted Average Price, the average price paid for an asset today, weighted by how much volume traded at each price level. Here's the critical difference from day 8's moving average. A moving average just averages closing prices. VWAP averages price weighted by volume, meaning price levels where huge amounts of contracts traded count for much more than price levels where almost nothing traded. And just as important, VWAP resets at the start of every single trading session. It doesn't carry over from yesterday like a moving average does. Every morning, it starts completely fresh from the opening bell, building up throughout the day as new volume comes in. By midday, VWAP represents the true average price paid by every single participant in that market since the open, weighted properly by how much size actually traded at each level along the way. Picture two price levels that both got touched briefly during the morning. If one of them saw 10 times the volume of the other, VWAP will lean heavily toward that higher volume level because that's genuinely where most of the real activity actually happened, regardless of how much time price spent at each price. This is sometimes the part that surprises people most. VWAP cares about where the size traded, not just how long price lingered at any particular level. Let's put these side by side because this comparison is going to lock everything in. A moving average from day 8 only averages the closing price, and it carries forward across multiple days without ever resetting. A 21-period EMA today includes data from 3 weeks ago. VWAP only averages today's price, weighted by how much volume traded, and it resets completely fresh at the start of every session. A moving average is identical for every single trader, regardless of which session they're trading. VWAP is genuinely the actual benchmark that institutions measure their own execution quality against every single day on every single trade. That's not a minor detail. That's the entire reason this indicator deserves so much more respect than people give it. Most retail traders glance right past VWAP because it looks like just another moving average on their chart. By the end of today, you're going to know better than that. Here's another way to think about it. A moving average answers the question, where has price generally been recently? While VWAP answers a much more specific and arguably more useful question, what price has the market actually agreed is fair right now, today, weighted by real conviction? Here's the real reason institutions take this so seriously. Large funds measure their own trade execution quality against VWAP. It's literally their report card for the day. If a fund needs to buy a huge position and they get filled below VWAP, that's considered a good execution because they got a better than average price compared to everyone else trading that day. If they need to sell and they get filled above VWAP, same thing, good execution. This is exactly why so many institutional execution algorithms are literally programmed to try to match VWAP throughout the day, spreading large orders out specifically to avoid moving the average against themselves. When you understand this, VWAP stops looking like just another line and starts looking like the actual battlefield where institutional money is being measured every single day. Every single time you glance at VWAP from now on, I want you picturing actual trading desks at actual funds right now, watching that exact same line on their own screens, judging their own performance against it in real time. Some firms even structure their traders' bonuses partly around how well they perform relative to VWAP across a quarter, which tells you just how deeply embedded this one number is in the actual mechanics of professional trading. As a retail trader, you get to watch the exact same number for free, which is honestly one of the more underrated advantages available to anyone willing to actually learn how to use it properly. Just like the moving averages we covered on day 8, price frequently reacts to VWAP as if it were a real support or resistance level. In a strong intraday uptrend, price will often pull back and bounce right off VWAP multiple times throughout the session. Each bounce reinforces the level as a place where buyers are stepping back in. The same logic works in reverse during a downtrend. VWAP becomes a moving resistance ceiling that price keeps getting rejected from. The key difference from day 8 is the time horizon. This is purely an intraday phenomenon, resetting completely fresh every single morning, which makes it especially useful for day traders who care primarily about what's happening in today's session, not 3 weeks of accumulated price history. If you've ever wondered why price seems to magically respect a certain level multiple times in one session with no obvious support or resistance from day 3 nearby, there's a very good chance VWAP was the invisible line doing the work. I've personally watched NQ tap VWAP to the exact tick multiple times in a single morning, which still amazes me even after trading this market for over a decade. This is where VWAP gets genuinely powerful, the standard deviation bands. These are bands plotted above and below VWAP that show you statistically how far price has stretched away from the average. The first standard deviation band marks a normal, expected range of movement. The second standard deviation band marks a statistically stretched extreme move. When price reaches the upper bands, it's becoming statistically expensive relative to today's average, often a zone where mean reversion traders start looking for shorts. When price reaches the lower bands, it's becoming statistically cheap, often a zone where buyers start stepping back in. This doesn't mean automatically fade every touch of the bands, but it does give you an objective statistical way to recognize when price has moved unusually far from fair value. Think of the bands as a built-in stretch detector. They don't tell you the rubber band will snap back immediately, but they do tell you exactly how far it's currently been pulled. In a genuinely strong trending session, price can absolutely ride along the outer band for an extended period, which is actually a sign of real strength, not an automatic signal to fight the move. Here's exactly how I personally use VWAP trading NQ. Rule 1. When price is above VWAP, that's my bullish bias for the session, and I'm only hunting for long entries. Rule 2. When price is below VWAP, bearish bias, only shorts. Rule 3. A pullback into VWAP during a clean trend is frequently my entry zone, especially when it lines up with the 9/21 EMA stack from day 8. When both of those agree at the same price, that's a strong signal worth paying close attention to. And rule 4. If price loses VWAP and fails to reclaim it quickly, that's my caution signal that the session's character might be shifting, and I'll tighten up or step aside until the picture gets clearer again. None of this is complicated. It's simply respecting one line that the entire institutional world is also watching and using it as a constant objective filter for my bias all day long. I've genuinely built an entire career around tools this simple, used consistently, far more than any complicated strategy ever could. On mornings where price opens and immediately holds one side of VWAP, without ever really testing the other side, that alone often tells me everything I need to know about which direction has control for the rest of that session. This connects directly back to day 4's lesson on sessions and timeframes. VWAP is intentionally built to measure only the current session, and that's a deliberate design choice, not a limitation. Yesterday's volume shouldn't bias today's institutional execution decisions because each trading session genuinely has its own unique supply and demand story. A fresh reset every morning keeps the benchmark completely fair for every trader, regardless of when they start watching a particular market. This is exactly why you'll never see a 50-period VWAP the way you'd see a 50-period moving average. The entire concept is built around a single session, by design from the ground up. Once you understand that the reset is a feature and not a flaw, the whole indicator starts to make a lot more intuitive sense. It also explains why VWAP tends to be most reliable in the first few hours after the open, since that's when the smallest amount of volume has accumulated and any single large order can still meaningfully shift the average. By the final hour of the session, VWAP has absorbed so much volume that it usually moves far more slowly, which is worth keeping in mind when you're judging how significant a bounce or rejection actually is, depending on what time of day it happens. Here's a powerful extension once you're comfortable with regular session VWAP. Anchored VWAP. It's the exact same calculation, but instead of starting fresh at the session open, you manually anchor it to start from any point you choose. You could anchor it from a major swing high or low from day 1 to see the average price paid by everyone since that pivotal turning point. You could anchor it from a key earnings release or major news event to track sentiment specifically since that catalyst. Or you could anchor it from the start of a new market structure shift from day 5 to measure the average price since a CHOCH confirmed a potential trend change. This is a more advanced tool, but it's genuinely one of the most useful ways to combine VWAP with everything else you've already learned in this course, and it's a favorite among swing traders who hold positions for more than a single session. Most charting platforms, including TradingView, let you click directly on any candle and instantly anchor a VWAP from that exact point, which makes this far easier to experiment with than the math behind it might suggest. I'd encourage you to play around with a few different anchor points on the same chart just to get a feel for how dramatically the resulting line can shift depending on where you decide to start measuring from. This is where everything we've built over 9 days comes together. Start top down on the daily from day 4. Identify the trend from day 1. Confirm with a BOS and watch for CHOCH from day 5. Find your key level from day 3. Now check VWAP from today. Is price above or below it for the session? Check the September 21st EMA stack from day 8 agrees with that same bias. Wait for the candlestick confirmation from day 2 and confirm with rising volume from day 6. When all 8 of these line up, you're looking at an extremely high probability setup, built layer by layer exactly the way we've approached every single day of this course. Each new tool we add doesn't replace the last one. It simply adds one more layer of conviction on top of an already solid foundation. I genuinely believe this layered approach is the single biggest difference between traders who eventually become consistent and traders who keep bouncing from one shiny new strategy to the next, never sticking around long enough to actually stack these layers together. Patience with the process, more than any single indicator, is what actually compounds into real skill over time. A few common mistakes with VWAP before we wrap up. Don't treat it like a normal moving average. It's session-based and volume-weighted, completely different math and purpose from day 8's tools. Don't trade VWAP on thin, low-volume markets. It's far more meaningful on heavily traded instruments like NQ, ES, and SPY, where there's enough real volume behind the calculation to mean something. Don't fade every single touch of the standard deviation bands blindly. They flag a statistically stretched price, not a guaranteed reversal, and plenty of strong trends will push through the bands and keep going. And don't ignore VWAP on multi-day swing trades just because session VWAP resets daily. That's exactly the situation where anchored VWAP from earlier becomes the far more useful tool. One final mistake worth flagging. Don't expect VWAP to behave the same way during the first 5 minutes after the open as it does by mid-afternoon. Early in the session, VWAP is far more sensitive to a single large order, simply because there isn't much accumulated volume yet to smooth things out. Give it time to build up real data before you start leaning on it heavily for your bias each morning. Let's recap everything from today. VWAP is the volume-weighted average price, resetting fresh every session. Unlike a moving average, it's the actual institutional execution benchmark. Funds genuinely measure their own performance against it every day. Price above VWAP favors longs, price below favors shorts. The standard deviation bands show you statistically stretched price. An anchored VWAP extends the same concept to any custom starting point you choose. Remember that opening line about billions of dollars getting measured against one single number. That number has been sitting on your chart this entire time, completely free. And now you know exactly why the people managing some of the largest pools of capital in the world refuse to stop watching it. That's a genuinely massive edge in awareness over a beginner who's still scrolling past VWAP without a second thought every single day. Carry that awareness into every chart you look at from here forward. Your homework today, open TradingView, add VWAP and the standard deviation bands to NQ or ES. Find one bounce off VWAP and one touch of the second deviation band, then compare that bias against your 9/21 EMA stack from day 8. If you're feeling ambitious, try anchoring VWAP from a recent swing high or low and see how differently the line behaves compared to session VWAP. Screenshot what you find, write a sentence or two about what you noticed, and drop it in the comments. I read every single one and I'll give you personal feedback. Day 10 is RSIE, overbought, oversold, and spotting hidden divergence, the momentum indicator that completes a huge part of our technical toolkit. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you in day 10.